If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
I'm sure you've heard the quote, when life hands you a lemon, make lemonade. Well, here are some examples of some lemonade makers. Charles Goodyear went to jail for contempt of court citation. While imprisoned, he went to work in the kitchen and developed an idea that led to a method for vulcanizing rubber. Martin Luther was forced to stay in Wartburg Castle, and his lemonade was his translation of the Bible into German. Charles Kettering broke his arm on the starting crank of his automobile. His lemonade was the development of the self-starter for engines. Jacob Schick could not shave at 40 degrees below zero and invented the electric razor. Greetings, Patriots. I'm Perry Green, and this is God in America. We've all felt the discomfort of pain in our trials. It may be physical, spiritual, or emotional, but it hurts. It is in those times that we learn to listen to God. In The Problem of Pain, C.S. Lewis wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. We often don't pay attention to God. As a result, he must use our negative situations to get us to take note of our circumstances and seek his presence. 2 Corinthians 4, verses 16 to 18, Paul wrote this, Therefore we do not lose heart, even though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we do not look at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. I'm becoming increasingly aware of the spiritual warfare taking place in the unseen realm. The fallen spirits have rebelled against God and dragged us into the fight. Paul wrote in Ephesians 6, Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For while we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places, therefore take up the whole armor of God that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. He specifies that we're battling spirits who operate through the people they have enticed to side with them. By faith, we look behind the curtain and, like Toto, see the schemers at work. Daniel got a glimpse when God dispatched an angel to tell him why the answer to his prayers had been delayed. Notice Daniel 10, verses 12 to 14. Then he said to me, Do not fear, Daniel. From the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, for I had been left alone there with the king of Persia. Now I have come to make you understand what will happen to your people in the latter days, for the vision refers to many days yet to come. Fallen angels, demons, and other rebellious entities have been at this contest for centuries. We short-lived humans are playing catch-up. These spirits are well acquainted with human beings, with our frailties and inhibitions. We're not smart enough to resist evil on our own. We are behind the curve in this spiritual conflict and need a firm reliance on divine providence. God has the answers to our problems, yet too often we try to do it ourselves and we fail to hear and heed the Lord. Therefore, God allows obstacles to come our way so that we can learn to discern his voice from the deceptive ones. Jesus said, And when he brings out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Yet they will by no means follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. The coercive acts, also known as the Intolerable Acts, were passed by Parliament in 1774 in response to the American colonists' resistance to British rule. The 4 acts were these. First, the Boston Port Bill, which closed Boston Harbor. Second, the Massachusetts Government Act, which replaced the elective local government with an appointive one and increased the powers of the military governor. Third, the Administration of Justice Act, which allowed British officials charged with capital offenses to be tried in another colony or in England. And fourth, the Quartering Act applied to all of British America and gave colonial governors the right to requisition unoccupied buildings to house British troops. They also appropriated private property and forced the colonists to house those troops. After numerous efforts at peaceful resolution, the American patriots prepared for conflict with England, which began on April the 19th, 1775, with the skirmish on Lexington Green. No doubt the military conflict erupted through the manipulation of the demonic behind the scenes. The lemon of British tyranny turned into the lemonade of liberty. In the face of war's hardships, the patriots turned to the source of freedom for all. Well, thanks for being with us today. Until next time, let's keep the light of following God closely burning.